Hello everyone, I'm Kim Horcher, and in today's Daily Fix, get your wallets ready for Nvidia's new graphics cards. Sony has announced more upcoming movie projects based on hit PlayStation games, and we'll sit down with a couple of the cast members from the upcoming Disney Plus and Hulu series, Goosebumps, The Vanishing. Presented by Goosebumps, The Vanishing, streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu January 10th. The Consumer Electronics Show is well underway in Las Vegas, and as expected, Nvidia has revealed their new slate of consumer graphics cards. Leading the way is the RTX 5090 at a whopping $1,999, or $2,000 if you want to round up, followed by the RTX 5080 at $999, the 5070 Ti for $749, and the RTX 5070 for $549. The announcement seems a little late for Nvidia, which typically announces new cards about 2 years after the debut of the previous generation. The 40 series cards hit stores in 2022, and the industry was expecting the new cards sometime last year, but better late than never, I guess. Plus, it gives you a little more time to save those pennies because these cards are expensive. The flagship 5090 justifies its massive price tag by stuffing in 32 gigs of GDDR7 RAM, up from 24 gigs of GDDR6 in the 4090, more memory bus bandwidth at 1792 gigabits per second, and other crazy numbers that I think you'll probably look up if you're already interested. Suffice to say that this card equals better performance over the previous generation. Speaking of the previous generation, the RTX 4090, which debuted back in October of 2022, consistently cost around $1,500 to $2,000 over its lifespan, but the current generation cheapest card in the new 50 series lineup, the RTX 5070, is only retailing for $549, but according to Nvidia themselves, will deliver similar performance to the 4090 at around a third to a quarter of the price. So until a 5060 is announced, those on a budget can probably make do with the lower end 5070. Are you upgrading your gaming rig with these new cards? Let us know in the comments. In gaming-related entertainment news, Sony has announced several new projects based on some of the biggest PlayStation game franchises. Horizon Zero Dawn and Helldivers are getting live-action movies, and Ghost of Tsushima will be adapted into an anime series. Sony's PlayStation Productions and Columbia Pictures will collab on the Horizon film, which continues the intra-company partnership that began with 2022's Uncharted movie. After a decade and change in development hell, the Tom Holland-led Nathan Drake adventure hauled in more than $400 million worldwide against a $120 million budget. So, of course, Sony wants more of that. No casting or story details have been announced, but it sounds like it'll adapt the first game in the series, 2017's Horizon Zero Dawn. During the CES presentation, PlayStation Productions head Asad Kizilbash stated, quote, "Just imagine, Aloy's beloved origin story set in a vibrant, far future world filled with the giant machines brought to you for the first time on the big screen." Helldivers was, until fairly recently, a not well-known property in Sony's stable, with the first entry being a top-down twin-stick shooter that was released in 2015. But Helldivers 2 became a bit of a cultural phenomenon when it landed early last year, switching gameplay styles to a third-person shooter with an increased emphasis on a multiplayer live service model. The game was met with near universal acclaim and massive sales. Developer Arrowhead stated that the game sold 12 million copies in its first 3 months of release, and to date, it's the fastest-selling PlayStation game ever, though its day one PC release might have had something to do with that. The big question here is, how will Helldivers the movie set itself apart from Starship Troopers, the 1997 cult classic that the game took a lot of inspiration from? And streaming exclusively on Sony-owned Crunchyroll, the Ghost of Tsushima anime will adapt the Legends co-op portion of the first game. Animation duties will be handled by Aniplex of Demon Slayer and Solo Leveling fame, and directed by Takanobu Mizuno. Meanwhile, the live-action adaptation of the first game is supposedly still happening under John Wick director Chad Stahelski. Gamers also have the sequel, Ghost of Tsushima, hitting the PS5 later this year. Goosebumps, The Vanishing premieres on Disney Plus and Hulu January 10th, and I sat down with cast members Elijah M. Cooper and Francesca Noel to uncover the mysteries and scares behind this brand new chapter of the anthology series. Hey Elijah, hey Francesca.
Hi.
Welcome. Could you tell us a little bit about your characters in Goosebumps, The Vanishing and your character's involvement in this new chapter?
So I play Alex, and she is an ex-con, and she's recently out of prison, and she's kind of coming to terms with her own identity and a very specific creepy haunted car that is following her around, and her mom is also an NYPD detective.
And I play CJ. CJ, to me, I'm a little bit biased, he's a pretty cool guy. He really is a big ball of energy. I think for him, he's a great friend to everybody, even though sometimes he's a bit much for some. But I think also on his personal front, learning how to be an individual who trusts himself more and shows a little bit more love towards himself.
Well, what do you both enjoy most about playing your characters, CJ and Alex?
They really did allow us to explore our characters and build a character that felt really authentic to us.
I would say for me, Alex was really interesting because she was really physically tough, and I'm not. So I had to go through like a physical transformation and a lot of gym, a lot of protein, a lot of yeah, I obviously can't do that. And that was really empowering.
What was it like filming on location in New York?
It was fun.
It really was.
And it gave the vibe, the spooky vibe, but it was so fun. The locals are really vibrant and colorful, and the sets give so much character.
Yeah, and I think for me, not being from New York, so being able to feel Brooklyn, understand the people, places that we were, that really did help me build my character at least.
What do you think audiences will enjoy about this new anthology season?
Oh gosh, I mean, so much. Goosebumps in general, I think is just such a great vehicle for like telling stories about life. But horror, you know, it's like you get these heightened realities and these monsters that just feel so real, and you can experience so much life through that.
We also have this really hearty and meaty story that audiences will really love.
Goosebumps The Vanishing, streaming on Disney Plus and streaming on Hulu until April 9th, 2025.
And that was your daily fix of news. I'm Kim Horcher, and thank you for watching with me. Now that you're all caught up on the news, check out this tech demo for Nvidia's new 50 series cards. Download the IGN app on all your devices, and for the best games and entertainment coverage, you're already in the best spot, IGN.com.